and Jonesy know what it's all about. From burnouts and doubts to boundaries that stick. We're right here with you through thick and thick. Do what you want because you're grown. You don't need to hustle all on your own. With that voice in your ear when it all goes whack. Take a deep breath, we got your back.
All right, so Dan's recording as he always is. So we're going to start another episode of Minding Our Business, where we talk about mental health and entrepreneurship. I'm excited today because I have Nessie Blaze, is a tattoo artist from Bristol Borough. I also went to high school with you, and I've kind of watched your journey from being an artist here to going to college, which I think you did, and then you iced college, and then you moved to LA, and now you're back.
Yep.
So give it to us.
Full circle, really. I went to school with you, obviously, graduated. I didn't even stay with my major. I had a full scholarship to Penn State. I wanted to go to law school, thought I wanted to be a lawyer.
So to go back 1 second, when we went to the tech school together, so when she was there, she was already doing art.
Right, yeah. I was in commercial art, so I studied that for 4 years. But then, like, getting out at that time, this is before social media took, like, a turn. You can have your own digital storefront. So, like, my mom's like, that's cute, but, like, you need to get a job. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be out here coloring, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. So I went to college, had a full scholarship to Penn State. That was cool. Partied.
You went to, like, Maine?
No, I went to Abington first,
Okay.
and I was supposed to transfer to Maine. And then I obviously couldn't even handle Abington, which is very slow. So I was like drunk all the time and like
20 minutes from home.
Yeah, I'm like, exactly. I'm just like, okay, this is crazy. So, and I was working full time still, and like it just got too much, and like I couldn't keep up with my grades. And once you let your grades slip with a scholarship, they like take that shit back. So I dropped out. Then I had to owe all the money from the scholarship back, and I was like, oh, this sucks. But I was waitressing at King George. I literally just didn't have nothing going on. I was just like, I don't know. I thought life would be figured out by this point, and it just
So how
wasn't.
old were you when this was going on?
This was 2010, so probably like 19.
We were only 19.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I thought I had this all figured out.
No. Well, I did 1 year in college because they make it seem, you know, they package everything like it's like, here, you're going to go to school and you're going to get a job and everything's going to work out.
Follow
and it's
the
just
plan and climb the corporate ladder, take out these loans. Everything's going to be fine. Stay in your lane.
Right. Debt.
Yeah.
Debt everywhere. So I was just like, fuck. Like, I'm like 20. I think I only had like 20 grand, which is low for like just 1 year. You know what I mean? But one day Sally Mae or whatever, that's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they were savages.
That
Those
bitch.
fucking 12% interest bastards.
Like, yeah, you want to set up a payment plan? And I'm like, lady, like I remember making a joke and I was like literally outside and I was just like, I don't want to like be one of those people that like curses you out or hangs up on you. I don't have any money, so you guys aren't getting any money. I said, I plan to be rich one day, but it's not today. So you guys are not going to get that money. I'm so sorry. And she just started cracking up, hung up. My student loans disappeared. Like, completely fell off. I never paid a single dime. They just, everybody's like, did you do a forgiveness plan? I'm like, no, it just came off. And
Even
I don't know.
No, after
government one? That
Yeah,
shit usually
everything.
follows you.
I have nothing.
After 7 years, that shit dropped.
Oh,
I followed you on, because you,
I'm gonna change
she
this
used to
camera.
post a lot about student loans, because I was in like the same books. I went to college as well. I went probably more years than I should have. You only did a little bit, and you know I went many years of drinking and not doing things, and didn't get a degree, but stacked up a lot of debt. Yeah. And I remember watching you, and you're like, I'm not paying them. But when you call the people, I never was someone that was raised not to pay your bills. Never. I would be on the phone with Citizens Bank. I'm like, listen, I want to pay. I'm like, I cannot pay like what you guys are asking. So they're like, all right, just throw what you can. I'm like, hey, is this still gonna hit my credit? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, what's the point? Like, I'm not. So
Exactly.
So it was the best thing that ever happened to me, not paying my loans.
Yeah.
I ended up settling it for much less. Well, I feel like a piece of trash, but like, that's what you got to do because they don't work with you.
The system takes advantage of us. So like something like I've learned, always keep your integrity. But if there's a loophole, take that shit. You know what I mean? Because it's like at the end of the day, like they have no problem screwing you over left and right. You know what I mean? Putting you in a bad position for your whole life when you're a kid, realistically, 18, you don't know how life works. I mean, you don't interest, all that. You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to pay for things when I don't even have a job? Now I got to do 4 years of schooling before I can even get a job, and now I got to pay you back. It's just like, it was a whole bunch of stuff.
It's not taught, and that's one of my soapboxes, and I'm glad we're broaching this. I didn't think we were going to delve into this today, but now I'm all excited, because like that's what all the asshole billionaires do. But the reality is, all those systems are accessible to us once you learn about it, to leverage and use, and like, now debt is my favorite thing, but leveraged debt. Real estate, I've got, at the time of this recording, $329,000 in available credit, on credit cards alone.
Nice.
Just to have. I'm not using most of it, but I can go buy a property with a credit card. Well, 9 credit cards, but and then refi and do all that stuff. Like it's all this stuff that's always been available, but purposely it's not taught to us.
Yep.
So that way we're part
and when
of the
it
machine
is
feeding
taught,
it.
it's taught in a way where it's like, yeah, spend more money, like accrue more debt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like build it. Like here's free. It always is given to you like it's something that's like a gift, and it's like, no, bro. Like
I'm
you're
just picturing you at a real estate close to me, like, try this one. All these like different credit cards.
no, but yeah, credit was serious too because it did drag my credit down. Like it was like 3 something. It was so
see,
bad. But
that's
then,
the thing. Like I was so steady on everything else. The lowest my credit ever dropped was 620.
damn, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
I was
That's crazy.
because they were like, this bitch isn't paying this, but she's paying everything else.
So I didn't have anything else because I never had I
yeah.
bought my car straight out when I first. It was $5,000 car. It was a little lemon. It had a million things wrong with it, but I never had any like credit cards because of that. I just always assumed like credit cards mean debt, so I just never wanted them. But I also didn't understand no credit is bad credit, and so that caused me to learn how to fix my credit. So that was like I'm kind of happy it happened because I learned how to fix it on my own, help my friends, do all the things, and then I joined the 800 club, and I was happy about that. And now I'm a little less than that now, but it's fine. It's still close.
As long as you're there once, I think that's good enough.
I did, and I haven't been there since. But what's like, and this is because I learned creative financing. But what's the point of an 850 if you're not using it? That's what everybody says to me. Is the counter like, oh, I don't want to mess with my credit score. I'm like, I can buy you with a credit card, so I'm not really worried about the difference between 850 and 750 when I can do all of this.
Right.
So.
And really, they don't care below. I feel like
Nah, you
it's
don't
still
get
the same. Honestly,
over
like,
775. You don't get any kudos.
Yeah.
You get nothing.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you're 19 thinking that you're going to have the whole world and everything figured out. So, one thing I will say is that I think people like you who are true artists are the only people that I actually would support going to an art school. I think there's so many people that go to like art and like do that shouldn't be there. So I guess one, do you think that you need it to go to more schooling to do what you do? And then to pivot from that is when did you end up going to LA and what was it for? Was it for art or was it for tattooing or what brought you out there?
So initially when I dropped out of school, like I said, I was waitressing at King George. I had no real plan and I still didn't know how to make money off it. And my uncle, RIP to him, he got me into tattooing. We always used to go to conventions and stuff and he bought like a kit and he's like, I've been trying to do it, but like you need to come try it. And like I went on YouTube University, taught myself everything. I was like, I was like obsessed with it though. And I think that's what it takes, like a level of like, I want to be so good at this. I don't care. Everybody get out of my way. Like I was like obsessed with learning it. Now that I look back, I feel like I'd be way further if I did go to school because I have besides commercial art at Tech, which is like basically an intro. Yeah. I never took a single art class or tattoo seminar. It's nothing. You know what I mean? Everything was like self-taught, which I used to take a lot of pride in. And as I got older, I'm just like, damn, like doing shit by yourself, it's really not, you're only playing yourself. You know what I mean? Like once I got around like artists that were way better than me, people that weren't so like egotistical or trying to shit on me, you know what I mean? And they were helping me grow. I was like, damn, I really watched my work like go from, let's say 30% of what I wanted to be to like 70% in like 1 year, just being around the right people and like not doing it by myself, asking for help, asking for advice, you know what I mean? Being more like open to like not wanting to be in charge of everything in my life. And so my ex that I was with at the time, so funny. I need to stop dating. I need to stop picking the people I date. But the ex that I was with at the time,
She's single now, guys.
I am single now. I am single now. I'll probably stay that way for a while. But
rest in peace, your DMs.
But basically, I was waitressing, and he wanted to move to LA because he had opportunities. Okay. And he was like, come with me. And I was like, I don't want to go to LA, bro. Like, we're already on rocks out here. You know what I mean?
What was his background?
He was an actor.
Okay,
like a radio host and stuff. And so he lived out there before, so he knew people, and like his best friend lived out there, which is who we went to live with when we first moved. But I had nothing going for myself, and he was like, realistically, like, you have nothing going for yourself here. If you leave and come back, you still did more than most people ever do. And you don't lose this. You can still be a waitress again. Like, you're holding on to what? You know what I mean? Something you can just pick back up. So I was like, damn, way to smack me in the face with it. But all right, I guess let me pack my bag.
You're like, fine, I'll come.
Literally. And then I went out there, and of course, shit did not get any better. Just, cheating and this, that, and the other. And like, I'm out there by myself because I don't know anyone, you know? So I'm like, I don't have any money. I can't do anything. I don't have a car. You know what I mean? I'm depending on you for everything. And you're like out playing in my face. You know what I mean? So I eventually got arrested. because of domestic. We got in a fight basically, but it ended up like going outside in the street and people were like pulling over and we both got arrested. And then I was like, all right, like I remember calling my mom and her being like, what are you doing out there? And I'm just like, he cheated, being a girl. And I'm like, and she's like, I don't give a fuck what he did. Look at where you're at. Look at what you're doing to your life over what? And I was like, damn, you're right. And so got out of that. LA was hard as fuck. I was broke for like, I'm not even kidding, like 5 or 6 years. Like having less than $10 in my account became normal. But I was just like so adamant about like not coming home because like my mom already told me not to go. Yeah. I didn't want to admit that I fucked up. I was like, no, I can't say I was wrong. No. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me just thug it. And that was probably the best thing, like showing yourself like that kind of resilience or like keep on pushing when it's not working. And it eventually got to a point where I used to make so many videos on like Instagram and YouTube motivational stuff that like I remember being on the train one day and somebody being like, yo, I'm a huge fan of yours. Like, this is so dope. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, but we're in the same position. We're on the fucking train. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a car. Like, me? You know what I mean? I was just like, what? And he's like, no, like, it's just really inspiring, like, motivating, and da-da-da. And I was like, damn, like, it matters. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You know what I mean? It matters who you are, where you want to go. And, like, I kind of kept that same mindset until the show came up. And then reality TV. And then that kind of made me known, I guess. And then everything just kind of flourished.
So was that the point where you felt like things were starting to like go up, feeling like, yeah, like I like made it, like what I said that I was gonna do, like I set out to do, like turn your TV on now.
Definitely.
Like, bitch from Sally Mae. Turn your TV on. Like, I'm here now.
Definitely.
So how did that journey start? Like, how did you even get connected with the reality TV? I know it's based off of your art, though. It's based off of the... No?
No.
Wasn't? Okay.
It's all, I feel like, personality-wise. So at first, I turned down Black Ink because they had reached out to me a couple years prior, but it was for Black Ink Chicago. And I'm like, I'm not about to go get my ass beat. Look at me. Like, I'm 110 pounds soaking wet. Like, I can't be out there with Chicago people. Like, I don't fucking know. I have a smart mouth. Like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if this is for me.
What sounds better is Compton.
Yeah,
exactly. Right.
All right. No, when you put it like that. So, it's funny because our Chicago show and stuff, I feel like New York, like, that was... I just feel like they got really nitty gritty on their shows. You know what I mean? And it was, like, normal. Due to the production company that was in charge of all of it, which was the first year I was on TV. That was the production company we had too. No boundaries as far as like people are human beings. You're fucking people's lives. Storylines that you're doing for these 30-second clips are messing with people in real life. You know what I mean? Like really, I've seen some really foul things happen that were just like, cut. All right, everybody go home. And it's like,
we're just not going to address this here?
Yeah, like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like this is not like I don't have that kind of heart. You know what I mean? I'm like I really care about people. So I'm like, that just blew my mind. But I turned it down at first, and then I did an interview with them when I was ready, but they didn't pick me, and I feel like it's because I was so like timid and I was still like not sure of myself, not really confident in my work. I wasn't where I wanted to be artistically. And then when the show did come back around, it was because somebody I really looked up to was like, I got an opportunity to be on the show, whatever, if you're interested. And I just straight up told them like, no, I'm not, because I was with a guy, another one, that didn't want me to do it.
Oh, you and these guys. You know what? We're friends after this. You're done. You're done.
Yeah, please pick them for
You're
me.
done with the guys.
I don't deserve to be choosing these people anymore.
Not even the pick them. It's like never let somebody hold... If somebody loves and cares about you and wants you to reach your goals, they're not going to tell you not to take an amazing opportunity for yourself.
Yeah, and that was my bad for like not even listening to my own, what I wanted. I know, literally. And so he was like, oh, I don't want you to do it. And so I was like, okay. And we ended up breaking up like maybe like 3 weeks later. And I ended up running into that same guy at this event. And I was like, yo, I know this is like random, but if that opportunity's still on the table, like I want to take it. And literally the next day I got a call from Viacom and we talked about it. And maybe like a month after that I was in New York. And they were like, oh, we see you're in New York, stop by the office. And they like offered me the contract on the spot. And I'm like, I gotta have somebody look over this. I've seen movies. You know what I mean? You're not kidding me. I'll take this home and whatever. And I had a lawyer go through everything. And that's how that kind of like transpired. But that's what made it more worth it, because I was more excited that somebody I looked up to felt that I was a good piece for it versus like it just coming out of the blue. And once your name's in those like databases, it's like, they constantly like, that's how like Ink Master hit me up. People just ask like, oh, how did you? And it's like once your name's out there, you're always in their system. They're always going to be looking for different people to like bring on or place you into a situation. I don't think it's something you really apply for. So it has to be earned, you know what I mean? But it's earned based off your care, I I don't want to say character. Your
You gotta bring the drama too.
personality. Yep, it's all personality. Like some of the biggest people and the highest paid people in reality TV don't even do tattoos. They didn't even do art. It was just because they brought the extra.
So that's just how that reality. So people. So you're saying some of these. So to scope it, I don't think we said that you were on Black Ink Compton, and it's on VH1.
Yeah.
So she was on Black Ink Compton, that was on VH1. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so bad at like. I'm like
We know it.
Yeah.
People,
Right.
well, he doesn't know, but
Well, I do now. I mean, I knew it going in.
what? That she was on.
Yeah. It's almost like we talked about it before the episode. Continue.
Well, now you got me all tripped up.
You shouldn't have paused.
You shouldn't have paused.
Anyway, so you're on Black Ink on VH1.
On VH1, and I forget now because.
Oh my God.
Well, it
Oh,
was
gosh.
Compton,
Yeah.
but it was like the way that they pitched it. So with every other Black Ink show, they were already a team before the show started. Ours was not. Ours was put together for the show. The shop was built for the show, which is where I feel like everything got really weird because
Oh.
we were dealing with a bunch of people who really cared about the art.
And you guys
And-
didn't really know each other.
Exactly.
So it's
The
like you
chemistry
had
was
to
so off.
pretend like these were like your friends.
Like you've been a
Yep.
partner in this business.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
'Cause-
truly acting.
Yeah, it
I-
was.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't like a, die hard, but I would go and truly just watch because you were there. Because I remember our high school reunion, I went up to you, I was like, you brought a different demographic to the show. I was like, I watched because I wanted to see you doing well. So is that one friend I know that there were like, there was a one guy on there, I think you're gonna know what you're talking about. Is he from Philly too?
Yeah.
So like, and there was
Linear.
drama with like, was that drama like real with like his like fiance and
No.
stuff? Like that's like
No,
that's what's so awful. I'm like, damn, like
Yeah, no, and that's the part that like with reality TV, not to like ruin it for people, but certain things, everything has to be like scripted improv to an extent.
Yeah.
Because if you can't pay people to just follow you around and hope something happens, there has to be some type of like structure. So like they would give us scenarios, you know what I mean? Now the issue that I had with dealing with a bunch of people I didn't know, you don't know what people are willing to do for a moment.
oh
And
yeah.
they don't owe you any loyalty because they really don't know you. It's different when you know people and it's like, I know what you like and don't like. I know
Yeah.
your triggers. I know what not to dabble with or what not to say. And with that situation, they had tried to plan some, she was gonna call this, but she told me ahead of time, like, I'm gonna call you a hoe. And I was just like laughing, like, okay, you know what I mean? But it was just like so random. But it's crazy because I didn't get the text till afterwards. But just because we were already on like, excuse me, my allergies are crazy today. But because we were on a ground level and like we actually knew each other at least a little bit, I wasn't like, I'm not gonna disrespect her pregnant
Yeah.
fiance, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
her girlfriend, like I'm just like, okay, like me? I didn't even know she was talking about me at first. Like you can see in the episode, I'm like, me? You know what I mean? Like, what? So that was cool and that's how I expected everything else to go. But it just didn't. Egos get involved and like people say things. I'm like, you really feel that way? And like then I'm saying things and like liquor is a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly getting you to drink and everybody's fucking fucked up and saying things. And so many times I was just like mentally like battling like real life stuff that happened for TV that I had to go home and like deal with, you know what I mean? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, like I don't want to be feeling like this after the fact, like just for a moment, and like half the time they cut the scene or they chop it up and make it look like something that wasn't even really the situation, and now you got to react to all these people talking about something that happened when it was an 8-hour film day that was crammed into 1.5 minutes for you to judge, 3 months later when it airs, so you have to relive everything twice. That
Well,
was
like,
hard.
Talk about that, like like being called like a hoe, but like that's a joke. But like the mental, like still people are seeing you, but like like I know who you are, but like like that girl Nessie from Black Gang, his girl's pregnant. Like talk about like that mentally, because I just talking to you today is like you have a lot of integrity, and that doesn't seem like it would have sat very well with you, like getting that negativity on you that's not actually you.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I know who I am. So I know I'm not sleeping with your man. Why would I get upset? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're pregnant. I don't know what that's like. At the time, I didn't know what that's like, but I know people can be emotional. And like, I get nothing out of fighting with you. You know what I mean? Or nothing out of like going back and forth with you. The only time that things really like were like offensive was mainly with the owner of the shop, because I felt like he kept trying to act like he made me, or like he was presenting the opportunity, and it's like, realistically, bro, you didn't even present this opportunity to me. And even before the show, he had reached out to me just like on a personal level and emailed me like, hey, so-and-so told me about you. I'm looking for members to be a part of my team that I'm trying to build, like just saying, keep up the good work. And like at the end of the day, I feel like he acted like that was never a thing. Like you didn't try to give me kudos before, and now you're trying to shit on me and like take credit for everything I built. And trust me, I've lived it. You didn't help me to do any of this shit. You know what I mean? I suffered to get this. So no, you didn't put me in a position. You never presented an opportunity to me. So to get on TV and act like I'm your boss and you work for me, when it's like, you've never made me a single dollar in my life. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even give us keys to the shop. Like, we're only here when the cameras are up. And that's, we're also.
So how does that work? Like, then you worked at a different studio? Like, did your own
I was still
tattooing?
doing tattoos at home the whole first year of the show.
Interesting. Was the goal supposed to be that you guys were supposed to actually that be a working shop?
Yeah, and it had a music studio, so his thing was ink art music, so it was supposed to be like painting, tattooing, and there was a recording studio in the back.
Gotcha.
The issue with him is I felt like he wanted it to be his moment so bad that you forgot that you can't hold all the reins for the whole entire horse carriage. You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to be in charge if you feel like you have to be the one to do everything.
Yeah.
Let the artist be the artist, and that's what where we were all at. Like, bro, give us the keys, let us work. And it was always just like, he just had to be the guy all the time. And it was like, okay, bro, well, if you want to be the only one, then you're going to be the only one. And it's going to look and feel like the only one. And you're going to get one person results. Mm-hmm. Because now we don't want to pour into something where we don't get any credit. Well, we're all just supposed to build you up every day, build you up while you try to like tear us down or like make us feel small or little. And realistically, it's just not your, I mean, it is your shop, but like they built it for you. So I can't even respect you for like building your own. It's not like you put the blood, sweat, and tears. They had a production team. They came in and built the shit, you know what I mean, for you. Like,
I mean, even if you are a boss or a manager or whatever, and you are acting that way and running your business that way, that you get your own borrowed time, regardless, because you can have people happy for 3 weeks until they realize that you're going to be limiting them, holding all those reins, like you said, and preventing growth and not sharing credit, and they're going to be out the door, and you're just going to have a revolving cast, massive attrition, and pretty much be lonely at the top.
Yep, and that's the first time that had ever happened on Black Ink, where they had halfway through the season they changed it to Black Ink LA because they had to bring Kat Tat, who was on Black Ink Chicago. She really put in the work and opened her own shop in Beverly Hills, and it was a beautiful shop. She had top tier artists in there, and they were operating without cameras up since she had opened. You know what I mean? She really did it. And so when they pivoted, because in real life we were already real artists, so everybody was like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, have the show. Bye. So we're all quitting left and right. Like, I remember quitting on camera. Like, man, I'm done with this shit. I don't know what I have to do with my contract, but I'm out. Like,
but I
I'm
like
good.
that it's like everyone thinks that that's the goal. Oh, I made it on TV, but then you're like, no, like I'm actually an artist, and like I don't need this like platform that everyone thinks they need.
And it's a great opportunity.
Once you're on there, you're on there.
Yeah.
They can't take that away.
Yeah,
like, you're stamped on there. It's like you're in big press release and that massive credibility.
Yep.
So I picked up on just a couple of keywords and trigger phrases you've said. 6 years in LA, so resilience. But at the same time, and this, you were younger, so it's understandable. Like, no, I'm showing mom I can make it out here and whatever. And like, so, and then how long was the filming for the show?
So I was in LA 14 years full time.
Oh, 14, holy.
It was 6.
Okay.
I was out there 6 before I really saw any money. You know what I mean? It was like really just like skating by the skin of my teeth. Like, I was like, how am I going to eat
You were a true entrepreneur. You were, 19, 20, 22. You were only 26 years old, which is like still so young. And like some people are just getting out of college at 23, starting life. You had, in my opinion, a little bit of a head start on reality and what life was going to bring.
Definitely. And experience teaches way more than, I don't care how many books you read, whatever. Like, I feel like getting out there and like fucking up over and over, like taught me way more than anybody could have taught me by like, do this, you know?
Well, and you have to do. Right,
Yeah.
you can read all the books, you can watch all the courses, you can do all the YouTube, but until you're executing, you're really not doing it. You're a entrepreneur.
Exactly.
So now that it's come full circle, you're literally getting paid to do the colorings, right?
Yep.
Like,
No,
you're
literally.
literally doing it now, and that's not even to belittle. It's literally you're doing these dope ass window paintings, which I saw even before I made the connection that you did them, because I go to Bristol all the time. Like, I see that Kevin, I see it on the side of the cantina as I'm walking by, literally this past week. And then, of course, I'm stalking you for a couple days before we do this interview here. I'm like, hey, wait a second, that's you? That's dope. And then, of course, the tattoo work. Let's reduce that down to you get paid the color shit now. All right.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do.
So how do you weigh the resilience of wanting to keep doing something that may not be productive with, like, I guess my question is how do you navigate that now where you have to put in some work to get productivity, but what would be like a lost effort and you're like, no more, like that kind of process?
What do you mean as far as like the job's not worth it, or like
job's not worth it, pivoting, changing, hard rules you have about time spent on anything before you pivot, evolve, or change?
I would say self-discipline, understanding like what result I'm trying to get, because like a lot of times like I would do something and I would trade somebody or I'd barter and people would be like, what you're doing is worth way more than what they're offering. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand relationships. And something I learned about like people, and I'm blessed enough to be in rooms where people had way more than me, and I've sat at tables with millionaires, you know what I mean? And just been a fly on the wall and was able to like just sit there and listen and understand. And it's like your network means way more than money, because when shit runs out, who are you going to call to put opportunities in your pocket? You know what I mean? Like money cannot make you money. I mean, it can, technically, but somebody got to be paying it. Who is that person? Who are these relationships you're building? And that's something I was really good at out there, because when I didn't have anything, I knew the right people, I had the right resources, I was asking to be in the right rooms. I wasn't shy about it. Like, I remember very nervously asking people, like, can I go with you to that? You know what I mean? And it's like, I'll shut up. I won't say anything. Can I just be there? And eventually you're quiet enough, you know, eventually, like, for one instance, like Steve Lobel, like he founded like Bone Thugs and Harmony and Nipsey Hussle, and like he's a very prominent person and like helping people break through as artists. And I remember sitting in a room at like this meeting, and he's like, "Who are you?" You know, he's from New York, and I'm like, "Me?" Like now I think I'm in trouble. I'm like, "Oh shit," you know. And he's just like, "No, who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm Nessie. Like I'm an artist." He's like, "Oh, you paint or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do tattoos." He's like, "Let me see something." So I'm like showing him on my phone. And at the time, I was a really big fan of Nipsey Hussle. I'm like, you know, he saw his logo on my background, and he's like smartest artist I've ever worked with. And I said, "Oh, I know, because I learned a lot. I've learned a lot from his music. I've learned a lot from his interviews, just like how people carry themselves." He's like, smartest artist ever. Like, I want a painting from you. And I did it for free. And everybody's like, you know what I mean? Because at that time, I'm charging hundreds, thousands for paintings, you know what I mean? And I was still not up there where I am now, but I could have charged him, you know, and I know he had the money, but I was like, "Oh, I got you, I'll do it." Then he asked me for another one. I did it again. Then the next time I seen him, he had all these free art supplies for me. He's inviting me to the studio to meet people. And then when he got a really big opportunity, he was like, "I want you to have this because you didn't look at the candy. You looked at the candy factory." And he's like, "Now I'm presenting," and I made $5,000 off painting a studio for Scott Storch. You know what I mean? So it's
All day
just
long.
like,
Yeah, relationship capital. Stop treating everything as transactional.
Show me your net worth, and I'll show you your net worth. Who said that?
I don't know. It's probably in one of those books, like The E-Myth or
Show
something.
me your network. I will show you my network.
Some guy with a monocle said it.
Yes.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
But I think that's so important. That I don't think people realize how important relationships are, and the fact that you saw the opportunity in that relationship in the beginning. I'm like that too. Like I will pay for things for clients. I will do things for free because I want to show that like. One, you're important to me, but like when I do something like that for someone else, they're more inclined to recommend like, "Hey, go to this person." They're not out there to just, you know, money grab you or do anything like that.
exactly.
It's a fine line. I still experience it with my business and myself too, where I do put a price threshold in certain things because it susses out those who are not a good fit, or sorry to say, you're too cheap to work with me. But then somebody who's, you know, got that being in those rooms with the multi-millionaires and stuff, I love being in those rooms. I love feeling like I don't belong because I know I'm like, you know what? Anytime I'm now the smartest person in the room, I got to get out of that room. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yep. You have so much more to gain when you don't know what other people know. You know what I mean? And I feel like even with that, people don't understand that even if it doesn't equal out at first, 9 times out of 10, when it's not 100% transactional, you get exactly what you give if you operate like that. I like to like undersell and over deliver is like my main thing. Like I forget who I learned that from, but it's like I've gotten so much by like just being willing to do a little bit extra, and that shit comes back tenfold every time. Even maybe not from the same person, but maybe me doing that free job, somebody walking by. You know what I mean? Like it's just like being in that one place at the right time, or being willing to just do it. You know what I mean? So many times I feel like people just don't understand. You just gotta show up, bro. You need a reason to show up. I never needed a reason. You know what I mean? It was just like, I feel like there's something here I don't want to miss.
Well,
I don't know what
that's
it
your
is,
reason.
but-
That is a reason.
True.
That is a reason.
Well, now you do have a really big reason for showing up every day. So talk about how business has changed for you since becoming a mom.
Oh, Hardest job. Motherhood is the hardest job I've ever had in my entire life. That was a really, really, really big struggle for me because I was always used to the freedom of doing whatever the fuck I wanted, going wherever I wanted. Like, even in LA, when shit was really slow, like, it's one reason I always prioritize my Philly clients, because when money would run out, I knew I could always come home and be booked here. And then I'd go make the money, and then I'd go back to LA and scrape by again. And then I'd come back here and collect and go scrape by again. You know what I mean?
I never realized that's what you were doing when you were coming home for like the holidays, being like, I'm here.
Yep. I mean, like, of course to see my family, but when I would come 3-4 times a year, it's like, fuck, like, money's running out.
Yeah, you're like, I'm actually here to fundraise my lifestyle in LA.
Literally, like, and people loved it, you know what I mean? Because I never changed. I was always the same. I still have clients that I tattooed in the kitchen at my mom's, you know what I mean? That just stuck with me because I always kept you in my circle too. I never became too good or too busy or didn't want to do your touch up from 15 fucking years ago, you know what I mean? Like, kept up with all of it. So that part, the freedom part, was a major thing because I couldn't just get up and go. Don't get me wrong, I did it. My son has been over on 20 flights now.
Oh, wow.
Just trying to, but it was really, really hard. Like, I remember, like...
And your son's only 2, so 20 flights will...
Yeah. And it's back and forth. Yeah. So it's like, really, I guess, 10 round trips or whatever. But still, like, that was a lot.
The frequent flyer credit card.
Yeah, right?
Got his little flight pins and stuff. His little first flight. Yeah, that was a major thing that I had to figure out, and part of the reason I moved home, because, like, I could do it in LA by myself, but I just had no life, and I witnessed myself, like, deteriorating, like, and I've never been a type to, like, and I feel so guilty now because I know mental health is a big thing, but I was always, like, so, like aggressive, and, like, I'm an Aries, so I'm just like, no excuses, whatever, fucking suck it up, let's do it, you know what I mean? Like, come on, like, bro, it's not that bad, like, you can't be depressed, just be happy, you know? And then I felt it. And the postpartum hit me, like, out of the blue, like, a year and a half later. And I didn't know what it was to understand it, but I just was letting myself go. Like, I was like, I'm drinking every day, all day. I'm chilling, I'm smoking, and just napping, not doing my makeup anymore, not putting on anything but tights or sweatpants every day. Sometimes the same sweatpants 2 days in a row. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I didn't leave the house. Like, bro, I'm just so tired. Like, and, like, I didn't realize until I was talking to my stepmom one day, and I was just like, I don't know who I am anymore. Like, I was like, I don't know who I am. Like, I'm just a mom. Like, I don't know. And I don't even know if I'm good at that. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, every day I'm just like, what is this? Like, I started like hating. I don't want to say hate being a mom, but I was just like,
you can say that.
I ruined my life. You know what I mean? Like,
I had severe postpartum with my first, and it is very, very hard, and especially hard. It's hard for moms that have to bring their kids to daycare and then go to a 9-to-5 job, but it's also very hard for a mom who runs a business and then, like, keeps their kid home and they have to try and work, and then especially if you're doing it solo.
Yeah.
I know that Dan's gonna hit us soon because we're going over time.
But this ties back into Dr. Ashlyn with the identity split.
It is.
And you have a new identity now as a mother, and you have to ask, does this change who I am? Yeah, of course it does. But it doesn't mean you have to lose what you were, who you were before. And I don't have the answer to this because I will literally never be a mother, right? But I've had these identity splits and merges and evolutions happen. So, you know, it's a real paradigm shift that you have to consider and deal with. You know, I don't have the answer. Nobody has the answer. You have the answer somewhere.
And there's no rule book. Like, even what worked for you, like, might not have worked for me. And, like, I had to start going to therapy. And even the first few sessions, I'm like, bro, are you helping me or am I helping you?
It all sounds dumb as shit. It all sounds so dumb. The mindfulness, you're like, that's so dumb. And then you're like, you know what? Let me just embrace it.
So you realize everybody's going through it. And if they say they're not, they're probably lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all that whole fucking... everything's a fairy tale, it's the best thing ever. I'm like, no, the fuck it's not. Like, you have to enjoy every moment. Getting peed on, no. Getting spit up on, no. I don't have to enjoy that, bro. Like, stop being fake about it. Like,
no, I always
you
tell
cannot
moms,
hate it, but you don't like it.
Yeah.
If you don't drop a tear on your baby, you're not doing it right.
Like,
I'll be over Riley like...
it's like that. And I've never felt that level of, like, low. I was just like, oh my God, like, I need to get myself out of this rut. And, like, when you don't even know where to start, I'm like, it's like being in a dark room and you don't know where the door's at and you've never been here before. And I'm just like, I gotta find my way out without knowing where I'm going. And just having good people around. Like, I did have a really good village until I crashed out because of the postpartum. You know, I became just a mean person. Like, I was just angry, not at them, at me, you know, but I didn't know how to work it out. So I've definitely, like, hurt a lot of people's feelings and, like, lost a couple friends over that. And I've apologized and I own up to it. I don't shy away from it, but it's a huge turn.
Friends don't come back after realizing what you were going through, like a new mom and such, then they're not really people that need to be, because like you need people to pour into when you need it the most. And when I was postpartum, I didn't realize I was postpartum. It was like my family worrying about me. And I'm sure in that moment that there were times where people were seeing things and that you didn't even probably realize you were as postpartum as you were. So anyone who you lost, don't need them.
And I do believe that, and at the same time understand that people don't have to put up with the versions of you that are not good enough for them. Because like I have nothing bad to say about the people that I've lost, because you were always a good friend. You were always real, you know what I mean? But you don't have to put up with a version of me that hurts you. You know what I mean? And I feel like I wouldn't be obligated to that either. If people change, you start treating me like shit, yeah, I'm good off you. You know what I mean? No matter what. But you're right. The right people show up, and it made room for different people in my life, but it still hurt. You know what I mean? When it's like, fuck, why did I have to be that? But everything happens for a reason, and you know,
all end up where we're supposed to. So where can people find you now? Where are you tattooing? If someone wants to reach out to you to get a tattoo, are they coming to you on Instagram, or do you have a website? Where do they find you?
So Instagram is my main storefront. You can message me there. My number is in my bio on there. If people want to book. We just opened a private studio right off Veterans Highway in Bristol. We don't take walk-ins or anything, so it's all by appointment only. But yeah, we finally opened a private studio. I plan to expand into like a real what do you call it? Storefront operating shop. Right now it's just like a private studio. That's why we don't take walk-ins or anything.
Just appointment only. Got it.
But I wanted to start small so I can do the trial and error stuff or whatever with people I know I work well with. So that's where we're at now. We just opened about a month ago.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so yeah, if you guys ever need that, any type of work, any type of paintings, everything is, my number's there. I'm very one-on-one. Every now and then I do get an assistant to help me manage that, but right now I've got everything under wraps for right now. So if you guys want any work done, let me know.
Cool. Well, I thank you for coming and chatting with us.
Thank you.
And I'm keeping you away from all these
These scallywag guys.
Scallywags and scamps.
Look at me. I'm still harping on the fact that she turned it down because of the guy. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
I'm embarrassed to say the things I've done because of a guy. Just stupid.
It doesn't seem like you though, which is crazy. Like I feel like your personality just comes off like, now I'm a bad bitch. Fuck you, you, and you.
Until they get you. That's the thing. I'm hard until somebody softens me up.
Crackens that hard out of shit.
Yeah, I'm like, damn it. Now I'm mush, but it's fine.
And then also look for Nessie's work throughout Bristol. Have you done anything else in like the surrounding towns, like locally right here? Because I know you do some in Norristown too, you said.
Do Norristown. I've done some in Bensalem. I've done some in Bristol. I actually was supposed to do a collision repair shop up here, but I never told her my timeline and my schedule. And so when I was like, hey, I come this week, she's like, oh, I thought you couldn't do it. And I was like, oh, dang it. She's like, next year for sure. So it would be up in Yardley next year.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Cut it.
No,
my neck.
We're missing a critical element, Jessica.
No. We end the show at the same time. Same thing. We have to do it with a leg lift.
A high kick, leg lift.
Wait, what?
You have to lift your foot up. I forgot.
You're doing your best, and some days it's a mess, but you're showing up still, so we're very impressed. Feeling the pressure, yeah, we relate. It's okay to not be okay. Minding our business, let's talk it out. Jess and Jonesy know